Hi, I'm Matt Hollrah, and I'm going to talk to you about how the co-requisite model of developmental English works at the University of Central Oklahoma, and then briefly describe how I might assist your team. UCO is a 4-year comprehensive metropolitan university in the Oklahoma City metro area, and we have an annual enrollment of around 17,000 students. Up until the spring semester of 2012, UCO did not teach developmental writing courses because of an agreement with Rose State College, who taught those courses for UCO students. After that agreement ended, we developed our own combined developmental reading and writing course based on the traditional prerequisite model. However, after hearing a presentation by Peter Adams at the Conference on College Composition and Communication about the success of the co-requisite approach at the Community College of Baltimore County, I was convinced that we should try the co-requisite model at UCO. We've been offering a co-requisite combined developmental reading and writing course at UCO since the fall of 2014. You will see that our approach is heavily influenced by the Community College of Baltimore County model. We place students by Regents' mandated ACT cut score and an optional standardized test score. Our course is a not-for-credit 3-hour course in which students earn an S or U. We cap English 0, 1, 2, 3 at 10 students, but because of the Regents' requirement that we must offer developmental courses to all students who need them in their first semester, we sometimes go as high as 12. In our computer system, called Banner, we link one section of English 1113 to one section of English 0, 1, 2, 3 through a co-requisite code, which lets students and advisors know that they must take both courses during the same semester. Both courses are taught by the same instructor, usually back-to-back in the same room. So, in short, 10 seats in English 1113 are reserved for 10 students who will also take English 0, 1, 2, 3 from the same instructor, usually in the same room, usually in the class period immediately after English 1113. But does it work? In the slides that follow, I'll discuss some data showing pass and success rates in English 0, 1, 2, 3 and English 1113 at UCO. This data is remarkably hard to sort because of UCO's rolling admission cycle and because students sometimes wait for more than a semester to complete the courses in the composition sequence. At UCO, students take English 0, 1, 2, 3 as a pass-fail course, where passing is earning 70% of the class points. If students pass English 0, 1, 2, 3 and English 1113, they can move on to English 1213, the second required English composition course. If they pass English 0, 1, 2, 3, but not English 1113, then they only retake English 1113. If students fail 0, 1, 2, 3, but pass English 1113, then they still move on to English 1213 because they passed the credit-bearing prerequisite for English 1213. And finally, if the student does not pass either course, they repeat both. Here's a comparison of the pass rates in English 0, 1, 2, 3 before and after we implemented the co-requisite model at UCO. As you can see, we have increased our pass rate in English 0, 1, 2, 3 by about 5%, but passing English 0, 1, 2, 3 is really just the first goal for our students. We want them to succeed in English 1113 and in English 1213. As a point of comparison, let's look at how students who do not take developmental English courses fare in English 1113. Success is typically defined as earning an A, B, or C in the credit-bearing course in 1 or 2 attempts. Over the last 4 years, about 73% of students at UCO who took no developmental English earned an A, B, or a C in English 1113. Now, let's compare that success rate to the success rate of just those students who took our prerequisite version of English 0, 1, 2, 3. From the spring of 2012 to the spring of 2014, 363 students took the prerequisite version of English 0, 1, 2, 3. 267 of those students passed and 96 did not. Only 208 students went on to take English 1113, which is only about 57% of the total number of students who took English 0, 1, 2, 3 during this period. 59 students took no more English courses at all, and only 171 students who took the prerequisite version of English 0123 met the goal of earning an A, B, or C in English 1113. This is a disappointing 47% of all students who took English 0123 during this period, and is significantly less than the success rate of students directly placed into English 1113. After we instituted the co-requisite model, things improved pretty dramatically. 328 students took English 0123 from the fall of 2014 through spring 2016. 258 of those students passed, reflecting the 5% increase mentioned on the earlier slide. But because students take English 0123 and English 1113 simultaneously, all 328 students also had a shot at completing English 1113, and as you can see, 225 students during this period met the goal of earning an A, B, or C, or roughly 69%, which is 22% higher than the old model, and only about 5% less than students who were directly placed into English 1113. So what potentially makes the co-requisite model effective? The most obvious factor is the structure that doesn't give students a reason not to take the credit-bearing course. But I'm also convinced that the co-requisite approach offers some key pedagogical advantages over the prerequisite model. First, the connection between the developmental course and the credit-bearing course is seamless, making knowledge transfer from the developmental course to the credit-bearing course easier. Second, the co-requisite model shifts the focus from helping students get ready for the credit-bearing course to helping students succeed in the credit-bearing course. Third, students do not have to adjust the different expectations of different instructors. And finally, the low class cap provides the opportunity for more one-on-one instruction, which allows instructors to tailor instruction to the needs of students. At the same time, we have noticed that English 0123 works better as a continuation of English 1113 rather than as a separate course with its own content. Students understand that English 1113 is the class they need to pass, so they resist anything that looks like busy work. Furthermore, at times it seems that the model almost works too well, in that students tend not to need as much help after midterm, and that causes their attention in English 0123 to wane in the second half of the semester. Finally, since degree completion is the ultimate goal for all college students, we need to continue to track our students through the entire composition sequence to see how many students are making it through to the end. Even though we haven't been working with the co-requisite model very long, the data we have so far are promising. Also, it's important to keep in mind that UCO is a four-year institution and may not face some of the issues that community colleges face because of the larger number of sections of the developmental course and the multiple levels of developmental writing that may need to be considered. UCO only offers the one developmental writing course. Nevertheless, I can assist your team by answering questions about implementation of the model, how the program is staffed, challenges Oklahoma's students face with this model, and I can discuss more about what goes on in English 0123 to help students succeed in English 1113. I look forward to meeting with you soon.